So for our guests, we will have now a discourse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and we will chant.
Cannot hear you. Is it on?
Haribol. I think it's on. You just maybe have to speak louder.
No, close your mic.
Okay, so we will have a discourse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and we will chant before one prayer. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Srimad Bhagavatam, because today we have a special day in our calendar. It's a Gopalastami, Gostashtami, Go Puja day. So I will read from a different canto of Srimad Bhagavatam than what we usually, what's like in our still? Okay. Okay. So, do I have to repeat everything? Okay, so I will read from a different canto from Srimad Bhagavatam that what we usually do. We read from second canto, I think. But today I will read from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes this pastime of our dear Lord Shri Krishna. So I'm chanting from 10th canto, chapter 15, verse number 1. Before we will chant also Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the verse is on the board. So let's see, we will try to chant together. Please repeat after me. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje. Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje. Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau. Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau. Gascharayantau Sakhibhih Samam Padair. Gascharayantau Sakhibhih Samam Padair. Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakratu. Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakratu. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje. Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau. Gascharayantau Sakhibhih Samam Padair. Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakratu. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje. Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau. Gascharayantau Sakhibhih Samam Padair. Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakratu. Anybody would like to try? Nobody? It's difficult.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje.
Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje.
Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau.
Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau.
Gascharayantau Sakhibhih Samam Padair.
Gascharayantau Sakhibhih Samam Padair.
Vrindavan punyam ativa chakratu.
Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakratu. Tatascha Pauganda Vayakshritau Vraje. Babhuvatustau Pashupala Sammatau. Gāshchārayantau sakibih samam padair Vrindavanam punyamativa chakratu. Maybe one more. Tatascha pauganda vayashrita ugraje Bhavatustau pashupala sammatau Gāshchārayantau sakibih samam padair Vrindavanam punyamativa chakratu. Okay, thank you. Please repeat after me. Shri Shukaha Uvacha. Sorry. Yeah. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said. Tataha. Then. Cha. And. Paugandavayaha. The age of Pauganda, years 6 to 10. Sorry. Shritau, attaining. Vraje, in Vrindavan. Babhuvatuhu, they, Rama and Krishna. Became. Tau, the two of them. Pashupala, as cowherds. Samatau, appointed. Gah, the cows. Charayantau, tending. Sakibih samam, along with their friends. Padai, with the marks of their feet. Vrindavanam, Shri Vrindavana. Punyam, auspicious. Ativa, extremely. Chakratuhu, they made. Translation by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami said, when Lord Rama and Lord Krishna attained the age of Pauganda, 6 to 10, while living in Vrindavan, the cowherd men allowed them to take up the task of tending the cows. Engaging thus in the company of their friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavana most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet. Purport. Lord Krishna wanted to encourage his cowherd boyfriends who had been swallowed by Aghasura and then stoned by Lord Brahma. Therefore the Lord decided to bring them into the palm tree forest called Talavan, where there were many delicious ripe fruits. Since Lord Krishna's spiritual body had apparently grown slightly in age and strength, the senior men of Vrindavan, headed by Nanda Maharaja, decided to promote Krishna from the task of herding calves to the status of a regular cowherd boy. He would now take care of the full-grown cows, bulls and oxen. Out of great affection, Nanda Maharaja had previously considered Krishna too small and immature to take care of full-grown cows and bulls. It is stated in the Kartika Mahatmya section of the Padma Purana. Shuklashtami Kartiketu Smrita Gopashtami Budai Tadinat Vasudevo Vud Gopah Purvam Tutatuvat Sapaha. The 8th lunar day of the bright fortnight of the month of Kartik is known by authorities as Gopashtami. From that day, Lord Vasudeva served as a cowherd, whereas previously he attended the calves. The word Padai indicates that Lord Krishna blessed the earth by walking on her surface with his lotus feet. The Lord wore no shoes or other foot gear, but walked barefoot in the forest, giving great anxiety to the girls of Vrindavan, who feared that his soft lotus feet would be injured. Verse again. Shukadeva Goswami says, when Lord Rama and Lord Krishna attained the age of Pauganda, 6 to 10, while living in Vrindavan, the cowherd men allowed them to take up the task of tending the cows. Engaging thus in the company of their friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavana most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet.
A small correction. This translation and commentary is by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. This last translation and commentary was on the 13th chapter, text 64. Huh?
I mentioned that. I said.
Sorry, I missed it.
No problem. Yeah, but
My apologies.
yeah, but it's true. It's correct. This from 14th chapter up. Yeah, these are translations and commentaries by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So if I am not mistaken, today we will have a little celebration for Gopuja at 1:30. Is it correct or no? That's anybody knows?
I think so.
Okay.
In the barn.
In the barn, yeah. Well, in any case, it's a Gopuja day, so you can always come over and worship our dear cows, and cows dear to Lord Krishna. I would like to speak more about the Gopalastami day and what happened in Vrindavan in that special day. As we know, the Lord Krishna appeared, and then till it's described that from 1 year, from his birth till 5, this is described as a age. Now I'm lost. As Kaumara, as Kaumara age, when he was very, his body was very, very soft, and his thighs were chubby, and his beautiful smile was just enchanting his parents. So this time is especially endearing to his parents and his older gopis and gopas, since he was just at home, crawling or laying in his bed or in the dust of Vrindavan, and he was by his beauty, by his baby-like beauty, he was endearing sentiment, and he was provoking these paternal sentiments in his devotees. And now we are moving to the age of Pauganda, where his relationships were more concentrated on his friends, his cowherd boys, and he was that's what he was developing relationships, with his friends. This mood of friendships. So he was going, to the forest with the cows, and his body also changed. That it is described that when he was in his Kaumara age, he was, he was wearing tiger nails around his body, and his hair were just up to his eyebrows, and his body was very chubby and sweet, like like babies. And we can see even like when we have some babies in this age around here, it just like melts your heart. You see them, like they are so cute and just making those different sounds, and every sound they make, the mother is just melting, and mothers can just watch their babies, and it's very, very special, but it's very, very like concentrated just about the mother. When some like people, like not everybody feels the same affection, right? Like when you see or hear some screaming baby, it doesn't it may be annoying, but for the mother, every sound is just like music to her ears. And so then when Krishna was a little older, so now he's like maybe 5, and from 5 till 10, this is described as Pauganda age. And most of the demons which were killed in Vrindavan were killed at the later Kaumara and during Pauganda of his age. So he already, at this time he already killed Putana, he killed Agasura, he killed Ashakatasura, and different demons were finished by now, and there is still some ahead. And so his body is changing. His limbs are like a little longer. His shoulders are broader, and so the cowherd men were discussing, and they decided, okay, now it's the right time. Krishna is more strong, and he could take care of the cows. Just imagine, like nowadays, when kids have this age, 5 to 10 years, that we would send them to take care of the cows. I am a little scared of the cows, and I am not 5 anymore. So children were getting quite some responsibility in those days, and even like I would say maybe some 50 years back, the kids have much more responsibility, and they could also draw some respect and some good feeling about themselves that they can do such things. So Krishna, and we know that just before he achieved this age of Pauganda, he was actually, when he was 3 or 4, that's when this Brahma Vimohana Leela happened, when Brahma stole cowherd boys and calves. So actually that year was kind of like not counted, and he didn't also, it's described that somehow like in the eyes of his parents he didn't change really. So he actually was like 1 year later coming to the Pauganda age, or that's how his parents saw him. So that's why they didn't engaged him earlier in the tending of cows, but they still saw him like this tender toddler. And so because of this separation of cowherd boys, and Krishna wanted to kind of also it's described here that he wanted to increase their joy. So he wanted to take them to Talavan to have some nice fruits from the tala trees, which are very sweet, and this I never had any tala fruit. I don't know, did anybody tried it? I was trying to find it, Google it, what it is, and they are described that they are very refreshing. It's a kind of like a jelly fruit, which is very refreshing, and it also gives like power. So they are very nice fruits, very like treasured. And so you can imagine there is a forest full of these amazing fruits. But as we know, this forest was guarded by very bad and so nobody was going there. But before this happened, there is a beautiful description how Krishna first day actually went with his cowherd boys and cows, how they were leaving the village of Vrindavan, and all the gopis and his mother and father and his small gopis also. Everybody was just dying from separation, because they, to tend the cows, it's much more, it takes more time. You leave in the morning, you come back in the evening. So the separation increased. So whatever, before Krishna was just crawling in the yard of Nanda Maharaj. So all these gopis and gopas and all these inhabitants of Vrindavan who had this kind of relationship with Krishna, this parent-like relationship, they were just thriving and they were enjoying Krishna's association. But then, when this day came, Krishna was gone for a whole day. So all these mothers and fathers and all these, and even like the gopis, Krishna's cowherd girls, they felt immense separation from Krishna. So like it was like every day they experienced this death, this dying feeling when Krishna was leaving Vrindavan, and they saw this everybody came and they were following Krishna as almost when it was like unbearable, and Krishna was sending his mother and everybody home and go home, like now I am, go home, and they were like, just following him at the edge of Vrindavan, and then finally, they let him go. And then again in the evening, they just were waiting to see that cloud of dust raised by the hoofs of the cows, which was like, the sign Krishna is coming back. So, and whenever they saw this cloud of dust, their life was just coming back into their heart, and they were, expecting him. And then his mother took him home, and she cleansed his beautiful face and wiped the dust from his face and took away the decorations, jewels and like this. So it was every day, it was happening, this ritual, this dying, and then the life was coming back. And this is like how we are also when we finally meet Krishna, and then our life is also coming back. So this was happening, and they were going, and the cows were walking in front of Krishna, and he was just joking with his friends, and there was so much laughter and joking, and for Krishna and his friends, this was the finally time, they were united, and they were experiences all these like exchanges on this level of friendship. And Krishna had 108 groups of cows, which is like just the numbers are incredible, and he knew names of all the cows, and he had a relationship with all the cows. They were separated according to color, according to the shape of their heads or the sound they were making, and it was amazing. So in the same way, like Krishna knows all of us. It's not that like because the number of souls is innumerable, that there is some soul like we are forgotten or somebody. Nobody is forgotten. Krishna remembers the relationship and the name and the personality of each of us. So we never can be forgotten. So they were walking to the forest, and when they entered the forest, the trees of Vrindavan forest, which were covered by those beautiful flowers, and the smell was amazing, because Maya Devi, Yoga Bhakti Devi is arranging the whole atmosphere so that it's most suitable for Krishna's pastimes. So, and it's described that whenever Krishna enters the forest, the spring starts. So the flowers, are at blossom, because summer is described. Spring. It's described in Bhagavad Gita that from the seasons, I am the spring, because it's the most beautiful. Like everything is just waking up. The flowers are blossoming. The air is just perfect. The temperature is wonderful, and it's just so pleasant. So whenever Krishna enters the forest of Vrindavan, the spring starts. So the trees, as he was walking, they were binding their branches to touch his lotus feet. And when Krishna saw it, he was in very jolly mood, very joking mood. It's described in the later verses in this chapter how he actually started to give credit to his brother Balaram. And as we know, Balaram, he is a representation of a spiritual master. That's like his identification, his identity, his mood. And he's first expansion of Krishna. So he is the one who is like a spiritual master, who is giving instructions and also giving example of a perfect service. So Krishna is walking, and he sees all these trees just bending, trying to touch his lotus feet, and he sees all these bees and animals. They are following him and coming closer and trying to get close to him, and he just starts to speak and praise his brother Balaram, how oh look, they are coming. These trees are bending just to greet you, just to worship you. And it's described in these different commentaries by our acharyas how the trees and all the living entities in Vrindavan, they are actually different sages who want to be close and who want to be part of the pastimes of the Lord. And they always recognize him. Even though he looks like a ordinary living being, the devotees and the sages, saints, they always recognize their Lord, even if he looks like an ordinary living being. And it's described how they are praising him, how they are glorifying him in their own way. Whatever they had bodies of trees, so they could not walk and follow him. So their branches were just like bending and trying to follow him as much as they could. And the bees were, there was a cloud of bees around them and just like buzzing. And in their own language, they were just saying these glories. And it's described in these verses how the glorification of the Lord are like a tirthas. And tirtha means it's a means through which we can go get beyond the material world. It's like the spiritual. The holy places are also described like a tirthas, but also in this connection, the glorification of the Lord is described as a tirtha, as a mean by which we can get beyond the material world and get to the spiritual world. And it's a very simple thing, actually. You can just say something nice about our Lord. And how about we try it? Everybody can say something nice about the Krishna. Who would like to say something nice about the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna? Whatever. One thing.
Most merciful.
Most merciful. Jai. Wonderful. Thank you. Anybody else?
Most beautiful.
Most beautiful. Jai. What else?
Expert thief.
Expert thief. Wow. Yes. It's a glorification also, although like in this world, the world of dualities, the thievery is not always appreciated. Anything else? Attractive? Attractive, very nice, thank you. What else?
He can only be tied up with love.
Jai, he can always only be tied up by love, as we know from the story of Damodara Leela, right? What else?
Very artistic.
Very artistic, Jai.
Very forgiving.
Very forgiving, that's we always appreciate. What else?
Humorous.
Humorous. Very nice quality.
Likes drama.
What?
He likes drama.
He likes drama. Oh, yeah.
Great diplomats. Great diplomats.
Diplomat.
Diplomat, yeah. Krishna was very diplomatic. Some more, few more, come on.
Full of knowledge.
Full of knowledge, yes.
Playful.
Playful. So what we just did, we were glorifying the Lord, and this is the means how to get beyond the spiritual, the material world. So you see, it's very simple. Superpower. Yeah, he's the Superman.
He is Navadita.
What does it mean?
Navadita means every youth.
Every youthful. Yes, very beautiful qualities. And you can see that all these qualities are very attractive, right? Also, like everybody wants to be attractive, and all these qualities you said. So, yeah, this is like the whole scene is just so beautiful, right? And we can see like the Gopas, the cowherd boys, they were enjoying all these exchanges, with Krishna, the humor, and like what is connected with the friendship, humorous, fun. They had all so much fun in the forest, and they were joking, and Krishna was looking at the peacocks who were dancing there, that we can also see around here, not now, but like when there is a season, they you know, spread their wings and they are so beautiful, just dancing. And he was, you know, joking, look at these peacocks, they don't even know how to dance, you know, let's show them. And they were, you know, with his friends, they were dancing like peacocks and just having, you know, so much fun and just to churn these emotions of friendship in the hearts of his friends, but also in the hearts of his devotees who can read these pastimes and who have this feeling of friendship. And they are just endearing, right? Before, like, he was endearing heart, he was being endearing for the hearts of devotees who have this parental love. And now he was showing, you know, all these amazing pastimes which are endearing the hearts of his friend and devotees who have this same mood. And then he was in the same time, like when he was describing these different like situations around him, and he was giving credit to Lord Balaram, he was showing also us, you know, what is the position of the spiritual master, you know, how amazing position it is and how necessary. And it's interesting that also after, you know, when they are coming to the Talavan forest to get those amazing fruits, it's again Lord Balaram, right, who is taking care of the Nukasura demon. Who knows which other demon was killed by Balaram? Pralambasura, yes. So these two demons were killed by Balaram, and it's also described that you know, other demons were taken care of by Krishna. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur and also Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj is describing how these different demons represent different anarthas in our heart. So these different demons like Putana and you know, Shakatasura and those demons which were killed by Krishna, they are demons, anarthas, which only Krishna can help us to overcome. And these are especially anarthas like in connection with the chanting of the holy name, which are hindering, you know, that developing of a pure connection with the holy name and pure chanting of the holy name. So, but with these two demons, Pralambasura and Dhenukasura, these are the demons which we are with our own endeavor can, you know, and not can, but we should, you know, really endeavor ourselves to take care of these demons. Because Talavan, this beautiful forest, is described that it's like our heart, which can bear these fruits of love of Godhead. But because we have this demon there, this Dhenukasura, S-like demon, you know, these fruits never ripe, you know, they are just wasted. They fall down, you know, and there is no use. They cannot, you know, the fruit is destroyed. So in the same way, we have, when Krishna and Balaram entered this beautiful forest, just to get these beautiful fruits, it was Lord Balaram who actually shaked the tree to get these beautiful fruits. So in the same way, when a spiritual master comes to our life, he shakes us, right? Like, you know, wake up, you know, and we suddenly, like, you know, we hear the knowledge, you know, we get out of our slumber. And these fruits start to ripen, and in the same way, also Lord Balaram, as a spiritual master, he can kill this S-like mentality in us, and this Dhenukasura represents S-like mentality in a sense in many different ways. The S, as we know, they are animals, not very clever animals, and they have this kind of a burden is part of their life. They just work hard, and they cannot get out of this, you know, understanding that this is that there could be some different reality, different option for their life. They just think they have to work hard, get and by their hard work they get some sense gratification, and that's it. So in the same way, like we need to get out of this S-like mentality, that to work hard, get some material enjoyment, and that's it. That's our life. So Spiritual Master is helping us to get understanding that there is a higher there is a higher option for our higher alternative. The spiritual life is our alternative, but also there is another way how to see this S-like mentality, and it's the way to see the spiritual life in that like a materialistic way. Just to see, the rules, regulations, and distinct, devotees, according to their castes and education. Just like to see this superficial way of looking at the spiritual life. It's Kanishta Adhikari level. You and Krishna, and you just follow the rules and regulations, and you are looking at the devotees and at the spiritual life from this materialistic way. And so that's another like this S-like mentality which we need to get out of by our own endeavor, by studying, by developing deeper understanding in the spiritual life. We have to get out of this just Kanishta Adhikari level. And we have to work hard for that. And everybody of you know that it is hard work. One has to do different things to overcome it, and sometimes because otherwise it's very easy just to be pulled back and live like an ass, somehow something like that. And you can see it's getting late. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share. And thank you very much. And of course, we need mercy of the Guru to do this endeavor. And Lord Balaram is giving us the spiritual strength, which can help us to overcome these the laziness and whatever is pulling us back to material life. Thank you very much. If there is any questions or comments, or anybody would like to share, yes?
Question.
Thanks for a lovely class. My question is, you said one of the two anarthas that are represented by the demons that Balaram held was this aspect mentality. What's the second one? And then my second question is, can you elaborate a little bit more on how, if we are using this materialistic sort of ass mentality and we apply it to our devotional life or spiritual life, how should we be doing? What's the alternative? What's our goal, rather than working and doing service and all of this stuff in order to make progress on our own accord? How should we be looking at it differently?
Okay, so the other one is Pralambasura, and unfortunately I wrote all the other. I didn't write this one. I will look it up and let you know, or maybe somebody knows.
I mean, there's different. I've noticed that there's different sometimes descriptions. So what do they represent? Oh yeah. So what I remember reading is let's go back to the Nakasura, that he represents ignorance, and there's 4 types of ignorance: about our relationship with Krishna, ignorance about the process of devotional service. And I don't remember the other 2. But in general, that's what I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually, they elaborate in these different angles how they look at those demons and what they represent. But I remember because they ask the ignorance. But Pralambasura is the desire to enjoy, sex desire, subtle and gross. But there might be more again depending.
Mhm.
Sometimes acharyas, they have different angles of looking. But that's what I remember. I think that's from Activity the Court.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the second question: what is the alternative when we are like this, when we have this material mentality? Or do I understand right the question?
You were saying that this ass-like mentality to just work and progress, we also apply it to our spiritual life sometimes, and that's also an error. So my question is, what does it look like to do the opposite? What should we be endeavoring to do instead?
You mean like that we are working hard? Sometimes we just like think that we should work, and that's how we make progress or in which sense? Maybe I don't understand like the exactly like where you go with the question.
I guess maybe I just want clarification on maybe what you mean, what was meant by we apply the same mentality to our spiritual life sometimes.
Yeah, that's meaning that we think that we will be. I would say that's sometimes we see that we think that by amount of the service we will like just conquer Krishna.
Wow.
By amount, by quantity, by working hard, but which, like we can see that there is a lot of service needed and necessary, but that mentality, that by we can just by working hard, we can, there has to be deeper connection to it. We have to understand that it's for Krishna, and then of course we are often working hard, even like and sometimes we are working but we should not work like like without understanding. We should have this deep understanding, and we should strive for the connection, and as was said, Madhuri said that there are these different kinds of ignorance. One is our svarupa, which means like who we are, what is our connection. Then another one is identity of Lord Krishna, and another one is the identity of holy name. That's also described like ignorance. That if we don't understand that the holy name is not different from Krishna, and we don't understand all this deep position and tattva, truth about about ourselves, holy name and Lord Krishna, that's also like then it becomes like just like a hard work, because we don't have this deep understanding and this deep connection, and this endeavor to understand, to really like do like study and have desire, pray. There is some hard work on our part, but yeah.
I just
Madhuri.
want to add that what you are saying, that maybe what you're looking for in your question is that yes, we need to do service, but if we do not develop taste for hearing and chanting, then we need to start to question. Maybe the balance is not right there. Because that's what's, I just don't, we become, and what she was saying as well, but what are we doing, who is this for, and how is my relationship with Krishna not attracted to?
The essence is criticized not for working hard. He's criticized for working hard for what is easily available. Okay? So working hard is it is necessary, as she was saying in her class, for attaining anything valuable. The essence criticized for working hard, which is easily attainable, which is grasped. So it's like, but he's trapped in his body and under the control of a cruel master who's using it. So anything worthwhile takes hard work. So Prabhupada has given us a twofold program towards understanding, the goal and the value, and to achieve it. And that is quality and quantity. It's not that, okay, I'm just going to chant now so to purify myself and don't do any service. At the same time, those who are doing service without actually hearing and chanting, that is not sustainable either. So we tend to, we tend to see things in black and white, to go to extremes, so to speak. We either want to chant all day, because that's, or hear all day, or we just want, we don't want to work all day because things need to be done. So this is more passion. The problem is actually giving us, I was thinking about this the other day, because I've tried so many different programs to become Krishna conscious, within Krishna consciousness. I finally came to realize that, the problem is giving us a very powerful process that situates us in the mode of goodness and deepens our activity. It saturates it with understanding and devotion and attention towards detail for the pleasure of Krishna. So, we have to take more than God has given us rather than thinking we have a better way. So working hard for Krishna, Prabhupada, if we actually look up at the folio and work hard, Prabhupada talks how the Lord should be working hard for Krishna's pleasure, for spreading Krishna consciousness. And that, of course, was, I was thinking about this last night, that was the motto of how Vrindavan was created. It was like, when I went to see Kirtananda the first time, saying I wanted to become, to reside in Vrindavan after the first few days. He said, okay, it's very simple. Chant Hare Krishna, work hard and be happy. So, he added that in Prabhupada. You want to hear Prabhupada say, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So there's a great mission. Prabhupada worked very hard. Prabhupada was an example. He worked very hard to spread Krishna consciousness, giving up eating and sleeping and sacrificing himself at so many levels to spread Krishna consciousness. And he wasn't affected by the Lord's passion because he was fixed in his sadhana. And when he was here in 1969 over in Vrindavan, the Lord was saying, the Prabhupada said, you should read 3 hours a day, you should chant, and there's no time to do that. And then Prabhupada was giving different suggestions. Well, you can do this and do that. What's the problem? You cut your sleeping out. He said we need to eat. Prasadam, it takes us an hour to eat. So this is new devotees thing. And Prabhupada giving different suggestions. Finally, he said, listen, just like I make my own schedule, you must make your own schedule. So, of course, within the parameter of Srila Prabhupada's given us the Krishna conscious movement, but so working hard for spreading Krishna consciousness. And now, I think one of the challenges now in a lot of the communities that we started, we were able to dovetail our passion to create something wonderful. Now, the big challenge is how to maintain it. So when you're young or when you're affected by passion, then if you have a project to create something from scratch, then it's very good to dovetail. But now that it's there, now that something is to maintain it, some mode of goodness quality. And that's what we see is the gigantic challenge to maintain ISKCON, to maintain Vrindavan, to maintain temples. It requires a population of sattvic devotees, which are very rare, at least at this point. At least I see, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
May I share something about Krishna?
Sure.
Thank you, man. Good morning, everybody. Krishna, for every generation, I feel, is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. He was unfathomable for every generation. As you go on studying about him, you find him more confusing depending on your ability, your knowledge to understand his vastness, I think. He kept on romancing and blundering through perilous affairs to win out in the end.
Sorry, but this is not very much aligned with what Prabhupada's teaching, so we rather to stop at this point. Okay?
Can I just ask one thing? Thank you for this class. I was just thinking, something came up in mind that sometimes, working hard, right? That we're all working hard, and we're all working hard. I just find it sometimes we see it as an excuse to not take responsibility for something. Like, okay, I'm doing so much service already, but then what I've heard from Srila Prabhupada's books and from the disciples of Srila Prabhupada who would get the most mercy from Srila Prabhupada, who would start something new, who would take initiative, who would take responsibility for something. And it's the same thing that we're working hard. But perspective is different, that I'm taking responsibility for something. It can be whatever, a project or my own behavior, my own cleansing of an artist. And I think that it needs to be there, like we can just work hard, but then we need to kind of take responsibility for our own service. That it's not like somebody just asks me to do it, that's why I feel so tired or something. But if you take responsibility for it, and you make out of it something. Like it's a nice example that they just wanted to build a house here for Srila Prabhupada, and then they built a whole palace. Because someone took responsibility, not just like, okay, let's just build a house and that's it. Just like embrace it completely and make out of it whole thing, whole project for a lifetime. So it's just something came up in my mind. Hopefully relates.
Yeah, thank you for that point. Yeah. So I guess we can conclude here. And thank you very much, everybody. And Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Now we will have a breakfast.
Jai.